everybody. In this video we're going to take a look at how to beat Lagavulin with the Silent. Ideally, when you're using the Silent, depending on if and when you draw this guy, it's great if you have Poison. Poison is a great mechanic because it lowers hit points. It doesn't actually deal damage, so it bypasses the shield. He can use his 3 turns of sleep to start stacking some poison and ultimately start his health pool a lot lower than what it normally would be when you actually kick off the fight. My deck unfortunately does not have any poison in it yet. I did take the Bane card in hopes that I would get a poison card, but I didn't. The only place I would have a possibility to get poison is if I was able to get a skill card from this random, which I don't expect to do, and it's exhaust, so it's a one-shot deal. Otherwise, this is going to be played pretty much the same as if you were doing the Ironclad. You want to attack, and hopefully your defense holds up on their attacks. The benefit of the Silent versus the Ironclad is slightly better block with a block of 8. And then you also have the weak proc as well. So it should be a little bit easier to mitigate a little bit of health loss compared to the Ironclad. But you also have a smaller health pool to start with, and every little bit is going to be amplified. Another great card for this deck here is the Flying Knee, because you get an extra energy the next turn. So the real question here ultimately is if and when to play your potions. So the Duplication is obviously a good one. I might ultimately want to do Duplication on Distraction so I can get 2 random skills for 0 cost. Otherwise, there's no real benefit other than getting maybe a little bit of stacked energy, but it's not critical that you get all that stacked energy. So now these are 0 cost skills, so I'm going to save it for this turn because I don't need any skills. Skills are generally going to be blocking, so I'm going to focus on just attacking. So I got a good opening salvo on him. He's going to be stunned, and then he's going to come back with 2 attacks. So this first attack here, I was hoping maybe I would go through enough cards to get through, but obviously I'm going to have to wait to get my distraction back. So that's just playing it as best as you can. In this case here, I'm kind of back up against the wall now with my blocking because I didn't draw any of the other ones, and I didn't draw my good one. So I'm either going to take a bunch of damage or I'll be forced to use my potion. This here is not a turn-based dexterity, so this is permanent. So that'll at least help a little bit. And then ultimately, I could either double block and then hope that I don't need that distraction later. It might be 3 turns before I get it, so I'm going to take the damage here and put the thorns back on him instead. I think this is a good one to have just because you're always taking damage. And then just put the heat on him. I don't have the vulnerable debuff on him like the Ironclad would have, so all the damage that I'm doing has to be essentially base damage and just pile it on as quick as possible. But at least now I have the 10 and the 7. I can actually block pretty well. So we'll just discard one of these, take 1 damage, and then I'll save my Duplication, preferably for this distraction. I won't need it on the next turn because he's going to go into debuff mode, but I also don't know what he's going to do, or how that's going to impact me with my draw. So I did say that I was going to use Duplication on that, so let's go ahead and do that. So 3 cards and discard, and both of these are pretty much junk ones. I have to use these in conjunction with the energy, or it's going to be a total waste for the most part. So draw until you have 6, or draw 3, discard 1. We'll do this one first to avoid the discard. There's the weak. Give my extra energy. And so now I don't really have much I can do. I can basically pour on the attacks. That's all I can do. and this will just end up going into my discard pile. But he still has quite a health pool, and now I'm going to start getting weakened and frail. Alright, so defense is going to be the name of the game here. I don't know if I have a lot of defense in here, so it's probably smart to try and block if I can. Discard that one and just try to soak it as much as I can, and hopefully I can do a balanced attack the next turn and then finish him off on his debuff turn. So we're going to go Survivor and a defense and a strike. He's still got quite a few health, and I'm still going to take a little bit of damage. Alright, so let's weaken him, strike, Bane, strike, and then he'll weaken me again, but hopefully I should be able to put out just enough damage to finish him off. So you can see we're having poison here would have really helped, because we could have gotten off to a really good start as far as his health goes. I'm fortunate enough that I'm able to mitigate most of the attacks coming in, but I still took a good 30 damage overall from him. And that's a pretty rough go, not necessarily for the sake of this fight in general, but looking overall forward to the map, this is a really risky route to take with this guy, because there's no rest sites at all. So the idea behind taking this route is that you're expecting to get good rewards in terms of cards, possibly this chest, possibly these question marks, and then healing right before the main boss. So it's a risky run to take. Every little bit of health helps, and in this case here, this run might be doomed by right around here. It might not even make it to the very end. So you have to kind of weigh that in terms of when you're exploring your options. These are obviously all procedurally generated, so you can't really know what to expect. But like I said, if you have poison, or if you counter him later on in the run, poison will make quick work of him if you're able to stack that over the first 3 turns, especially if you have a fairly small deck where you can cycle through it quickly. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave those below. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.